Good afternoon and welcome to Meadow Park, where it's Arsenal against West Ham United in the Barclays Women's Super League this afternoon. Well, Jonas Eidevall's Gunners are seeking a win to keep pace with table toppers Chelsea, who have a 3-point lead. Arsenal host Chelsea next at the Emirates after the international break, and how his side would love to go into that title six-pointer on the back of a sixth straight WSL win this afternoon. They are, of course, red-hot favourites against West Ham United. These Arsenal fans used to seeing their team get good results in this particular London derby against the Hammers. The Gunners fans here in their number this afternoon. And whenever West Ham come here, they often leave on the back of a defeat. In fact, in the 9 WSL meetings to date between Arsenal and West Ham United, Gunners fans have seen their team win 8 of those 9 and draw 1. West Ham have never beaten Arsenal in the WSL. The Hammers, of course, are in the thick of a relegation battle, having won just 1 of their opening 7 games in the league. A daunting task for them this afternoon against Arsenal, who are chasing the title for the first time since 2019. They, of course, are always up there in the title race, but how they would love to get across the line in first place this time round and potentially deny Emma Hayes that golden farewell as she heads to become the USA manager from Chelsea. Arsenal have seen Chelsea win the last 4 WSL titles in a row. They want to reclaim what used to be their rightful place at the top of the table. They were so used to that in the pre-WSL era and in the first 2 seasons of the WSL. And Alessia Russo among the summer signings, with the hopes of getting the goals to get them back at the summit. Stina Blackstenius is out for Arsenal, their top scorer, as is fellow Swede Lena Hurtig. They both picked up knocks. There's 2 changes from the last WSL lineup, with Steph Catley and Frida Mornham in for Noel Maratz and Blackstenius. It's a welcome sight to see Beth Mead fit enough to start a 2nd WSL game in a row. And Viviana Miedema again among the subs. 3 changes for West Ham from their last WSL game. They're without goalkeeper and captain Mackenzie Arnold, so it's a West Ham WSL debut for summer signing Megan Walsh. Hanoka Hayashi is back from injury, and Lisa Evans, who won the WSL title with Arsenal in 2019, also starts. So Shannon Cook and Mel Phillis drop to the bench. The full lineup: Zinsberger in goal for Arsenal, with Kay, Billestedt, Vubenmoy and Catley across the back line. Palova and Cooney Cross in the middle of the park. Mead, Mornham and Ford backing up Russo. West Ham, Walsh in goal, Shimizu, Hayashi, Tiziak, Sissoko and Smith in a back 5. Evans, Stringer and Harris across the middle, and Asai and Oweki up top. Rhian Skinner, formerly a Tottenham manager, of course, now a few miles across London with West Ham, trying to revive their fortunes. Cooney Cross, the Australia international, among the summer signings for Arsenal. Emma Harries, the number 12 there, signed from Reading, who were relegated last season. Still looking for her first WSL goal for her new club. Has been on target in the Conti Cup. Both these teams were in Conti Cup action in the middle of the week. Arsenal beat Southampton 2-1. West Ham went down 3-1 to Brighton. Alessia Russo, 2 WSL goals in the red and white of Arsenal since that summer move from Manchester United, as the players take the knee. And referee Lisa Benn gets this London derby underway at Meadow Park. Chelsea, the league leaders, at home to Leicester this afternoon. You would expect them to get another 3 points there. They've won all 4 of their WSL meetings with Leicester. They've scored 23 in the last 3 games. A very one-sided fixture, although Leicester have shown a bit more about themselves this season. So Arsenal know they really can't afford to lose any more ground. They'd expect Chelsea to win that one. And Arsenal very much expected to win this one too. But we have seen this season a couple of shock results already. Arsenal, of course, losing on the opening day at the Emirates to Liverpool. They followed that up with a 2-2 draw against Manchester United, but it has been a winning streak ever since then to keep them right on the coattails of Chelsea. Ruben Wood to Catley, who sweeps it down the left-hand channel for Caitlin Ford. Ford drives at Shimizu, who concedes the corner. Early corner for the Gunners. Caitlin Ford back in the starting lineup. A couple of goals to her name in the league already this season for the Australia international. Can Arsenal make this early corner count? Towards the near post. West Ham still trying to scramble it clear. Headed back in towards the yard, it's gone all the way in. Arsenal have taken an early lead. Well, it looked for all the world like it was a shot, but it has gone into the back of the net. Frida Mornham gives Arsenal the lead inside the 2nd minute. Megan Walsh on her WSL debut for West Ham. I think she was suspecting the cross as well. But Frida Mornham, the Norway international, back in the starting lineup this afternoon. She deceived everyone. I think she meant it. Postage stamp, top corner. Frida Mornham gives Arsenal an early lead. Megan Walsh so frustrated in that West Ham goal. Disappointed to have been caught out. It was unorthodox. Good response here, so from West Ham. Asai drives into the area. She didn't appeal for a penalty. Just lost her footing. Arsenal, of course, the favourites coming into this one. We mentioned that really tough run of results West Ham has suffered against them. 8 defeats and 1 draw. Is it going to be a 9th defeat? Really difficult start for the visitors to find themselves behind so early on against such strong hosts, but they have responded well to that setback. Asai with the cross in. Shimizu with the shot from 25 yards. Bounced in front of Zinsberger, who gathered it comfortably. Risa Shimizu, one of the 3 Japan international players in the West Ham starting lineup, alongside Hanoka Hayashi and Riko Ueki, the summer signing up top. No foul, says referee Lisa Ben. One back by Shimizu. Lisa Evans against her former club with the cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed off the post by Asai. A beautiful glancing header. So close to giving West Ham an equaliser inside 5 minutes. What a start it's been at Meadow Park. Breathless stuff. But there was no way that Zinsberger would have got to that. It was an expert header from Asai, almost millimetre perfect, that struck the base of that far post, and Arsenal survive. But Rhian Skinner in the West Ham dugout will be delighted with the way her side have responded to that early setback. They've had the majority of the ball in the 3 minutes since Arsenal took the lead. They've had one shot on target through Shimizu and a header off the base of the post from Asai. Evans with the cross picks out Asai. She knew she could trust the French striker to make that run. Oh, and how close was that from Viviane Asai? Catley back to Ruben Moy. Russo wins the free kick inside the centre circle. She'll be among those back on international duty at the end of the week. She was knocked over by Abby Lee Stringer. England, of course, play Netherlands at Wembley, a game they have to win on Friday night in the Nations League to keep their chances alive. Morgan, the goal scorer. This time tries to tease it through to Russo. West Ham's defence alerts. And Tiziak, the Belgian international, got there to get a foot in. Ruben Moy, another of those in the England squad. West Ham throw in, taken quickly by Evans. Given away by Shimizu. And Catley knocks it forward to Ford. Russo. Russo again. Shimizu back to Walsh, whose clearance goes to Ruben Moy. Well, Chelsea have got an early goal too. Chelsea leading Leicester by 1-0. So important for Arsenal that they don't lose any further ground on the league leaders. Chelsea have a 3-point lead. Jonas Eidevall preparing his team to take them on once this game is out the way at Emirates Stadium after the international break. Mouth-watering prospect, that one. And he will hope they are no further than the 3 points behind them. Of course, they'd love a shock from Leicester. Arsenal on the charge with Mornham again. Oh, and the shot is saved by Walsh. Decent save this time from Megan Walsh as Ford tried to curl it in at that far bottom corner. Walsh responding well to the early concession of that Mornham goal. Great footwork by Ford. And the shot forcing Walsh to stretch every sinew. Catley with the corner for Arsenal. Onto the head almost of Ilestedt, and we know what she can do with that head. 4 goals in the World Cup, all from the head of Amanda Ilestedt. She was in the race for the Golden Boot, wasn't she? The Sweden international. I think they could have called it the Golden Bonce had she taken it. This is a goal from Mornham in the 2nd minute. Look at that. I'm pretty sure she meant it too. And she dinked it to perfection over the head of Megan Walsh. Foul given against Mead. Beth Mead winning the foul. So good to see Beth Mead back in an Arsenal shirt. Abby Lee Stringer fouling her on that occasion. She too back in the England squad now. Serena Wiegman talking of the joy she felt making that phone call to say, yes, you're ready for a return. Last played for England against Japan last November. Missed the World Cup, of course. Low free kick headed away. Picked up by Pelova. West Ham with an opportunity to break here, but Ruben Moy gets a strong challenge in. They'll be chased up on that far side by Ueki. There'll be an Arsenal throw. The challenge came in from Cooney Cross. She managed to play it off Ueki for the Arsenal throw to be taken by the captain, Katie McCabe. Those Arsenal fans have seen their team make a flying start here. Less than 2 minutes on the clock when Frida Mornham gave them the lead. It has been a decent response from the Hammers. Shimizu. Deep cross, and it almost drops in the end to Emma Harries. But Zinsberger was alert as it was headed back by Ueki into the path of Harries. Zinsberger scurried out to gather. Cooney Cross picks out Russo. Russo does so well and does get the shot in. Took a slight deflection, I think, off the heel of Tiziak. Cooney Cross picks her out really well. And Russo, well, it was through the legs. It didn't take a deflection, but it was straight at Megan Walsh. She's played a couple of Continental Cup games for West Ham since her arrival in the summer. The former Brighton keeper wouldn't have been expecting to play this afternoon necessarily. Mackenzie Arnold, we assume, has a knock. She's not in the squad. West Ham don't have a substitute goalkeeper, so we'll be hoping that Megan Walsh can come through this afternoon unscathed. Shimizu tried to pick out Harris. Harris is knocked to the turf. No foul, says referee Lisa Benn. Picked up by Russo. Emma Harris, what a talented player she is. Over the years, she has put in a couple of stunning, or more than a couple, several stunning individual displays in that Reading shirt. And West Ham will be hoping for similar magic on occasion from her. Shimizu back to Tiziak. Tiziak has to go all the way back to Walsh. Gets it away before Russo could halt her progress. Harris now. into the middle of the park, won back by Arsenal. Ford. Still Caitlin Ford, plays it short to Russo. Back with Catley. In comes a left-footed cross from Catley. And it is a mean left boot that she possesses. Asai having to drop deep. And is she going to win the free kick? She is indeed. Under the challenge from McCabe, who suggests that Asai took a dive there. Well, it was shoulder to shoulder at that point, and there was a slight tug there on the left arm of Asai. Foul given in Arsenal's favour. Jonas Eidevall will be very happy with the scoreline in these early stages. Rianne Skinner, though, also pleased that her team certainly haven't capitulated and have responded well. They've had their opportunities to draw level in this game. But of course, Arsenal can punish teams in the blink of an eye. Russo, a player who can do just that as well. Ilestedt to Ruben Moy. Cooney cross. Sweeps it out to that right-hand channel. The shot comes in and beyond and into the back of the net. And Arsenal have doubled their lead. And it is Beth Mead on the score sheet once more for Arsenal. What a sight that is to see. Megan Walsh could do nothing about that. It was a glorious finish from Beth Mead. 428 days after she was last on target in the WSL. Arsenal fans have waited so long to see her back, and so long to see her hit the back of the net again. 428 days since he saw her score in a 4-0 win against Tottenham in the WSL. There were a couple of Champions League goals after that. And then that devastating injury blow struck, and Beth Mead missed the remainder of last season and the whole of the World Cup. How Arsenal have missed her goals, have missed her talents, but she has given them a 2-0 lead here, following up Frida Mornen's early effort. Sissoko wearing the captain's armband this afternoon in the absence of Mackenzie Arnold, and it could turn into a really long afternoon. Already 2-0 down in the opening 20 minutes. And Arsenal not letting up here. As they go in search of a third. Headed away by Shimizu. And just about kept in. McCabe was pushed there, but referee plays on. Pilova back to McCabe. Cooney cross. Ruben Moy. Catley. Lovely footwork from Beth Mead. She juggled it around to keep hold of it. Keep possession for Arsenal, and she has it back. Smith wins it back for West Ham. Asai. Evans, who provided the cross for West Ham's best chance when she set up Asai for the header off the post. Plover, part of the Netherlands squad to take on England and Belgium a few days later in these final Nations League group matches, which are coming up. It's the last WSL round of fixtures before the international break. Sissoko gets there ahead of Russo and does really well to shepherd it behind that goal line. The West Ham skipper. This is the Mornham goal, which gave Arsenal a second-minute lead. And Beth Mead from a similar position into that same top corner. What a sight to see her back on the score sheet. It's a frightening prospect to see Beth Mead back and Alessia Russo now in this Arsenal shirt too. Viviana Miedema, of course, among the substitutes. Having had one substitute appearance in the WSL since her return from an ACL. So close, Arsenal, to a third as Walsh gets a precious fingertip to divert it away from an Arsenal head. In front of the North Bank, Mornham with the cross. And Ford was lurking, almost dropped to Catley too. Walsh did really well. To the firm right palm to that. Stringer claims the throw-in, and it is given in West Ham's favour. Evans to take it. Player who performed for Arsenal with distinction, the Scotland international Lisa Evans. Halfway through the first half. And Weki wins a free kick for West Ham. Scorer of a couple of goals in the World Cup for Japan this summer. Signing for West Ham on the back of the World Cup. Evans. West Ham still keep it alive on the edge of the Gunners' box. Smith knocks it in towards Sissoko. The side was appealing for handball there. She felt it flicked up off an Arsenal boot and onto her hand. Nothing given. Sissoko. It's put under pressure from Mead. And Hayashi has to go back to Walsh. Plays a 1-2 with Sissoko. Mead plays it off Smith. McCabe with the throw. Sissoko does well. Ford tries to dispossess Walsh. Stringer to Evans. Still Evans. Short to Harris. Evans with the cross in. Drops to Pelova. Hayashi tries to win it back. Pelova stands her ground. And Harries was knocked to the turf, but no foul, says referee Lisa Ben. And now Arsenal can break with Ruben Moy. Ruben Moy teases it through to Russo. Has she stayed on side? I think she has the flag. No, the flag's gone up. Russo strayed off a couple of yards offside. Walsh did really well to narrow the angle just as the flag was being raised. Russo's 2 WSL goals so far for Arsenal came in the 2-1 win over Aston Villa. A winner in that game in the 4th minute of added time. Also on target in that 6-2 win over Leicester a couple of weeks back. Champions League goals to her name as well, Russo, but 2 in the WSL since arriving from Manchester United in the summer. Mead is back defending for Arsenal. Hayashi did really well to knock it into the path of Evans. High hanging cross, but rather directionless. It is picked up though by Shimizu. Stringer. And Shimizu has won a free kick. She was impeded as she went to collect that pass. It has been a good performance from West Ham. It's just 2 moments of real quality from Arsenal. And that's so often the case, of course, when you're one of the teams from outside the elite and you come up against an Arsenal or a Chelsea or a Man City or Manchester United. It's just those moments of quality. Arsenal with so many players who can hurt you. And Frida Mornham and Beth Mead have done just that this afternoon. But in between, the performance has not been bad from West Ham, and they have got a free kick in a promising position here, which Asai will take, and she goes for the shot and she gets it horribly wrong. It was a casual run-up. She was trying to disguise it, Viviane Asai, and make it look as though she was going to knock in a cross, but she went for goal. Well over Zinsberger's crossbar, though. She certainly has the talent to cause goalkeepers problems, even from that far out, but not on this occasion. They don't look like a team that's right down at the foot of the table. West Ham lost to Manchester City on the open day, beat Brighton the following week, but that was their only win. And since then, they've lost 4 of 5, just a point against Liverpool in that run. And it looks a very tall order for them to get anything out of this game already. 2-0 down to one of the very best teams in the country. Cooney cross. His passes set up the first 2 goals, although they were, of course, moments really of individual quality. Beth Mead with the second of those goals, but Cooney cross played the short pass to Mornham and to Mead on each occasion. This time trying to rake in a arrowed long-range pass towards Mead. Ford, who has also forced a decent save out of Walsh this afternoon. Catley. Cooney Cross's passing on this occasion lets her down, as it's knocked straight out of play from the summer signing from Hammarby. Through to Russo, she's onside this time, and that is a crucial and crucially well-timed tackle, because anything less and it would have been a penalty surely, but the ball was won by Tiziak just in the nick of time. Palova carries it forward, Tiziak is there again to halt her. In quick succession, halting Russo and then Palova. Alert defending from Amber Tiziak in the back line for West Ham. Well, she rather dove in and she managed to get the ball and not the foot of Russo. Big decision for Lisa Ben, and on the evidence of that replay, she got it spot on. No penalty. Jonas Eidevall on the edge of his technical area, and so often gives little away with his demeanour. But his side a 2-0 to the good, trying to ensure the 3-point gap to the league leaders Arsenal doesn't grow this afternoon. And Chelsea have a 2-1 lead at home to Leicester. Two-nil up they were within 5 minutes in that game, Chelsea, but Runtala has pulled one back for the Foxes. They've scored in all but one of their games this season, have Leicester. Arsenal looking for a third here. Walsh reads it well to get there ahead of Mornan. The flag is up anyway. Offside, but Megan Walsh wasn't to know that. Sissoko. Smith now for West Ham, but McCabe taps it out of play for a West Ham throw. Smith, the former Manchester United player, will take the throw. Hayashi comes short. Stringer gives her an option and receives it. Still Stringer, did really well there. Noeki wins West Ham a free kick. Rico Ueki can be a real handful for defenders. She really showed moments of quality herself in the World Cup for Japan. Palova and Mead, the two-player wall. Evans stands over it for the Hammers. Sissoko, Harris, Ueki, Tiziak, all in that Arsenal box. They haven't really made anything of their set-piece opportunities, West Ham. It may be their best route to goal this afternoon. And it comes from Evans. Ueki got the header, but straight down into the turf. And Arsenal clear. Russo plays the 1-2 with Mornan. Forward, and this is where Arsenal can be so devastating. Mead back to Ford, Smith and Asai getting all the way back there, and Asai wins the free kick for West Ham, to the boos of the home fans. Ford up against Smith and Asai, Asai goes down under minimal contact, it appeared, but enough for the assistant to raise her flag. Stringer. Wecky has won West Ham a free kick on the halfway line. Rhian Skinner continues to bark the orders from the touchline. As I mentioned, largely I think she'll be pleased with the performance of her team this afternoon, but two finishes of the highest order from distance have beaten Megan Walsh from Frida Mornham in the 2nd minute, Beth Mead in the 18th, and that's what separates the teams. Evans scurries across to keep this in and whips in a low first-time cross, but Arsenal clear it. Drops to Shimizu. Russo wins it under pressure from Tiziak. Shimizu. Evans all the way back to Walsh, who was picking the ball out of the back of the net within 2 minutes of her first ever WSL appearance for West Ham. Sissoko is pulled up for a foul here. The fans are demanding a card for the foul on Mead. Lisa Ben is certainly going to have a word with her. She goes to her pocket, and it's going to be a yellow card for Hawa Sissoko. For the foul on Beth Mead. So the West Ham captain, France international, Hawa Sissoko, into the book. First player booked this afternoon for the foul on Beth Mead. She remains calm in the face of that lecture from Lisa Ben. Such an important player for West Ham, Hawa Sissoko, at the heart of that defence. Captain this afternoon in the absence of goalkeeper Mackenzie Arnold. But she's gone into the book for the foul on Mead, who stands over this one alongside Catley. Katie McCabe just waving her teammates into position, the Gunners captain. Catley with the left boot towards the penalty spot where Ilestedt was lurking. Palova picks it up for Arsenal. Smith and Asai. And Asai knocks it out for an Arsenal throw. She's had a great start to the season, Victoria Palova. Some really mature performances from her in the Arsenal midfield. Ilestedt. Smith trying to get there before Mornham, manages to do so and pokes it away from McCabe as well. West Ham look to work their way out of their own corner. Stringer back to Sissoko. Palova again for the Gunners. Ilestedt. Weuben Moy could only play it straight into Harris. Concedes the throw into Arsenal. Ford turned well, but Shimizu on the stretch manages to play it back to Walsh. It's over the head of Harris. Who knocks it back to Evans. Evans goes back to Shimizu, and Russo could sneak in here. Russo's going to get there ahead of Shimizu. Still a left here, Russo. Russo pulls it back to Mead. It came off for Mead, and Mead knocks it into the back of the net for her second goal of the afternoon. Beth Mead truly is back. Starting a second WSL game in succession and on target twice this afternoon. Once from distance, once from close range. She needed 2 attempts at it. She couldn't bring it under control with her first touch. Well, Russo seized onto it, did well to keep it in. Picked out Mead with the perfect pass. And Mead wasn't going to let it go begging at the second opportunity. Didn't quite deal with it there, but there was no mistake. What a return for Beth Mead. Last on target when she got a brace in a London derby, a 4-0 win against Tottenham on September the 24th, 2022. Those were her last WSL goals, and a brace to her name this afternoon in another London derby, which Arsenal lead 3-0 with 3.5 minutes plus added time still to play in the first half. Forward, Walsh gathers comfortably. Couple of times this afternoon, Ford has tried that attempt to curl it beyond Walsh, hasn't quite pulled it off. Cooney cross to Palova. Mead on a hat-trick, on a first half hat-trick is Beth Mead. Hayashi to Sissoko. 3 goals down, their captain on a yellow card, missing their #1 goalkeeper and regular captain Mackenzie Arnold. Sissoko can't put another foot wrong. And that's tricky when you've got a whole half to go against one of the best teams in the division and your centre-back's on a yellow card. One of your most important players. Ford. Cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box where Mornham was flying in. Harries wins West Ham some welcome respite with a throw-in. In some ways it hasn't been a 3-0 half, but that's the position West Ham find themselves in, and it could get worse. Palova thought about the shot. Smith. Asai gives away the free kick this time, having won a couple for West Ham. Brings McCabe to the turf. No doubt about that. And Arsenal with the chance to extend their lead to 4-0 before half-time. Mornham in the second minute. Beth Mead with goals in the 18th and 41st minutes. The Arsenal fans in really good voice behind that North Bank goal. Are they going to see a 4th goal right in front of them in this first half? Cooney cross. Stringer did really well to cut out the attempted cross. But it falls to Catley, who has it again. To Mead, finds Palova. Well, it's gone out of play, in fact. Before Palova could get there. Soon to win her 50th Netherlands cap. She's on 49 for her country. 3 minutes of added time to play. West Ham will be eager to get into the dressing room with no more damage done. Mornham went down holding her, well, didn't go down, but stayed on her feet holding her face there, as though she was caught. In the jaw, perhaps the way she's responding there, maybe a arm caught her unintentionally. Perhaps it's going to be a drop ball, no foul given, no free kick, because West Ham were in possession. The ball is dropped to them. It was Stringer climbing with Mornham, and her elbow, or her arm at least, did appear to accidentally catch Mornham in the face. Because it was a head injury, Lisa Benn obviously had to halt the play and just check on Mornham. But we're back underway. 2 minutes of added time still to play. Asai, who's come the closest to a West Ham goal this afternoon, heading against the post when the score was 1-0. Evans manages to win the ball and find Harris, who tries to dink it over Zinsberger in similar fashion to the goal with which Mornham gave Arsenal a very early lead. Emma Harris fancied the chance of catching Zinsberger out there, but didn't quite execute it to perfection, and the ball drops onto the roof of the net as she went about seeking her first WSL goal in a West Ham shirt. Just a little too much height on it. Not far away though from that far corner. A minute of added time to play. Mead, 2 goals to her name this afternoon. West Ham with a very late chance in this first half. Harris hangs up that cross towards the far post, but really needed to look up first and didn't quite assess her options. There was no West Ham shirt heading in on the far side of that area. Wasted opportunity, really. 30 seconds to play in the first half. Arsenal heading in at the break with a very healthy lead. Fiona Seideval will be delighted with what he's seeing, and the good news for them too is that Leicester have not given up the ghost at West Ham. At Chelsea rather, the leaders. Leicester are trailing just 3-2 as that game nears half-time. So there are still hopes there that Chelsea perhaps might drop a couple of points this afternoon. It looks really unlikely that Arsenal are going to do that, because they have a comfortable 3-0 lead at the break against a team they've never lost to in the WSL. They've only ever once dropped points to, winning 8, drawing 1, and looking well on the way to a 9th WSL win over West Ham this afternoon. Frida Mornham with the goal that set them on their way in just the 2nd minute. Delightful long-range strike into the top corner. But the story of the afternoon, those Arsenal fans have seen Beth Mead back on the score sheet for her club after that long time out. A brace for Beth Mead a few days after her recall to the England squad. And Beth Mead has got Gunners fans singing their hearts out as the teams head in for the interval. 3-0 at half-time. Let's have a look back at the best moments from that thoroughly entertaining first half. Just 2 minutes in when this Arsenal, well, less than 2 minutes in fact, Cooney Cross with the short pass and Frida Mornham catching out Megan Walsh on her WSL debut for West Ham by floating that one into the far corner. Evans almost set up Asai, a fine header from the France striker. Lisa Evans, a former Arsenal player, with a perfect ball into the box. Asai is so close. Beth Mead off that trusty left boot, her first WSL goal for 428 days. What a finish it was from Beth Mead. Cut inside Sissoko, who was in the book before the end of the half for a foul on Mead, when she caught the England striker. And Mead again, when Russo did so well to keep the ball in and pull it back to her England teammates. Mead couldn't control it at the first time of asking, but on the second touch, she fired it low beyond Walsh to give Arsenal a 3-0 lead. And that's how we sit at half-time. Join us again, please do, after the break. Half-time at Meadow Park. It's Arsenal 3, West Ham United 0.
The greatest women's footballer of all times, I think definitely Marta. She just does her own thing and she's on a different level.
Marta from Brazil. She has just been so great in the women's football, just her technique, everything, the way she played.
Hope Solo, because she changed the goalkeeper game.
I'm going to say Kelly Smith. Stick with the English and yeah, I mean, what a talent she was.
Beyonce? I would say Beyonce. Because her moves are great and the way she adds, just she is a whole package, you know.
Definitely Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Greatest singer, Whitney Houston.
Ed Sheeran.
I quite like Chris Brown, Ed Sheeran. Pick between the two.
No, the greatest kit is definitely my Chelsea kit. Am I even allowed to say anything else?
I like the current Canadian kit. I'm a fan right now.
I think the reversible England kit I used to have as a kid, I loved that.
From the German national team, the under-17 jersey.
My Mercurial. I like the pink one we had the last time, but I also like the white ones I'm wearing now, so.
There was this light blue Adidas X's.
Probably got to be the Adidas Preds, the light whitey cream with the red tongue, yeah.
Oh, I remember my first boots, my first Nikes. Those were my greatest boots.
It's a German one. Okay. Fuck you, Goethe.
I like Ariel. I'm just gonna say that's not the greatest film, but I'm just gonna say it because it's my favorite right now.
Well, my favourite is Love and Basketball. Not sure if many people have seen that.
The greatest rom-com ever. The Notebook or something.
I mean, I love the Titanic, the Notebook. I'm a quite emotional person, you know what I mean? So yeah, I go for the Notebook.
I'd say Wembley and Emirates. They're both pretty beautiful.
The greatest stadium that I've played in, definitely Wembley, especially when it's crowded.
Stade de la Maison. It was our opening game in the 2019 World Cup versus Cameroon, so Memorial Stadium.
Parc des Princes in France and Allianz Arena in Munich.
Anfield. Anfield's amazing stadium. The people, the supporters, everything. Yeah, I just love the stadium.
I've actually only been to one concert and it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. That was a really good one. I don't know if I can top that one with a better one.
Greatest concert, Beyonce.
Ed Sheeran.
I'd probably say Kim Little. Yeah, top talent, and I mean her ability on the ball is incredible.
Greatest player that I've played with is Marta.
Georgia Stanway.
I have some nice English players like Lucy Bronze, Alex Greenwood. I have some nice players over here, so it's hard to actually decide.
I'm gonna say Kadisha Buchanan.
I must say like a family holiday. Back to Bosnia with visiting all my family.
I went to the Bahamas. Yeah, that was pretty special. Very beautiful.
Last year to Zakynthos with my girlfriend. It was very nice and chill, relaxed, so yeah.
A surf camp in Portugal and Faro with my family in Portugal as well.
Yeah, I went to Jamaica in 2012.
Serena Williams is amazing. In Sweden, Zlatan. Everyone knows who Zlatan is, right?
I think Bastian Schweinsteiger.
I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan.
I would say Serena Williams. Yeah, just created an incredible legacy.
I like oatmeal raisin. I know a lot of people don't like that. You like that?
I like that.
It's not a biscuit, but like a cinnamon roll.
Oreo.
I'd probably say chocolate hobnob.
I think that's soon. My child is gonna be there, so that's gonna be my greatest present ever. I can't wait for that.
A tour to the Harry Potter studios.
I'd probably say my Burberry bum bag. I literally take it everywhere with me, so it's got to be that.
Greatest meal, oxtail, rice and peas.
You have Caribbean roots?
Yeah, Jamaican.
I don't have a particular meal, but Japanese food is my favourite, so any of them restaurants.
Definitely mom's Balkan food. Oh, miss it so much.
Pasta from my mom.
Never stop believing in yourself and always be happy because the good days are still there around the corner.
Believing in yourself, really. I think that's the main one.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Behind the athlete you've become and the hours of practice, there's a little girl who just fell in love with the game. Play for her.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Pinto and this is Get to Know. I think Brighton is the perfect project. The club has such a good vision and it's a very ambitious club. And I just think I suit here very good. So I'm really happy to join Brighton and looking forward for the next season. Very good. It's very sunny right now in this moment. So I'm really enjoying the time here, knowing a lot of new players, the staff, the club, everything here. But I am feeling very happy in the moment with everyone here. No, in personal, no, but I knew about Pauline, about Vicky, about Robo. That was some few faces that I already saw in other games. So yeah, I'm just very excited to know all of them and to learn a bit from them also. Very good, very close to us, very worried to know our concerns, very close. So very excited to start with the team and to start the league with everyone. Well, that's a good question. No, I think my main goal is to open doors for more Portuguese players coming into the WSL. I think we are very talented players, we just need opportunities. So this is my main goal and of course have a big impact in the team and help the club to be very successful. So I define myself as a collective player. Like I will put the interests of the team first. That's my main thing, and I'm very aggressive. I like to have the ball. I'll do whatever it takes to help my teammates, my team. But yeah, and I think I am a very smart player. I think I can help my teammates, yeah. I think it's crazy the difference right now. It's the league is so competitive, so good. The facilities in every clubs, it's just crazy. I think any player now wants to be in this league because they can really perform in the highest level. So yeah, I'm just here because now I feel 100% an athlete and I can perform in my highest level, so very happy. Oh, it's lovely. People saying blue and white suits me, so I hope that's true. No, it's just lovely. I love the strips, the seagull. I'm in love, really.
Hi, I'm Laia Codina and this is Get to Know. I think that Arsenal has been always a great club, and now the project with women is so exciting, and this is why I'm here, because I think that we can achieve a lot of titles. Good. I think that there's a nice group and the players are helping me a lot, and all the staff. There's a good environment to grow up and to still winning a lot. No, I know maybe some girls because I faced with them during the World Cup, but not. I been with them before. Leah Waldy. Good, I think that not only him, all the staff is very familiar. So I think that for the people who are new, is good because it's easy to stealing in. I'm a young player. I have to grow up a lot, and I think that here is the best option, and we will see. But I only think that we can achieve a lot of titles with a team. That's our goal. I think that I'm an aggressive player. I think that I'm very brave, or I try to be very brave, because I think that it's a good thing for a player. And I will also, with the ball, I think that I'm good building up. That's all. I already say that I love it. I don't know, this goal here is very, I don't know, it's very brilliant, and I think that there's a lot of, in this shirt, there's a lot of history, and it's nice to feel that.
Back out for the start of the second half. The visitors, West Ham United, and your Cannons.
Welcome back to Meadow Park, where Arsenal lead West Ham United by 3-0. Beth Mead with her first WSL goals since her return from an ACL injury that kept her out for the best part of a year, that saw her miss the World Cup. Jonas Eidevall absolutely delighted, I'm sure, to have her back in the starting lineup and back this afternoon amongst the goals. Her first in the WSL for 428 days. Frida Mornham it was who gave Arsenal a second-minute lead from long range. Mead doubling up in the 18th minute, also from distance, and then knocking in after great work by Alessia Russo to put it back into her path, knocking in from close range 4 minutes before half-time. West Ham played pretty well in patches of that first half. Rhian Skinner's side very close to making it 1-1 inside 5 minutes, when Viviane Asai headed Lisa Evans' fine cross onto the base of the post. But the real quality that Arsenal can show in moments from players like Alessia Russo, who did so well to set up Beth Mead for that third goal. That's what's been the difference. And Mead is on a hat-trick, of course, as we start this second half. Russo trying to put Sissoko under pressure. Sissoko on a booking for a foul on Mead in that first half. The West Ham captain this afternoon in the absence of the injured goalkeeper Mackenzie Arnold, who picked up a knock in training yesterday. So Sissoko with the armband, but already booked. Frida Mornham with the long-range goal, which gave Arsenal a second-minute lead. And they are now 3 goals to the good as they try to chase down that 3-point gap to leaders Chelsea, who kick off the second half at Kingsmeadow 3-2 up on Leicester City. So Leicester could get something from that game still. Asai trying to get a goal for Arsenal. It's flicks up and onto the post. It's the second time this afternoon that Asai has hit the woodwork, this time via a huge deflection off Amanda Ilestedt. But so close, Viviane Asai, to giving West Ham a bit of hope in the very early stages of this second half. Great run it was from the France international. Ilestedt ducked down to try and head it away, but actually headed it in the direction of her own goal. And there was no way Zinsberger could have got to it. But fortunately for Ilestedt and unfortunately for Asai, onto the woodwork instead of into the back of the net. Tiziak made one really good last-ditch tackle in the first half. Could have given away a penalty had she timed it wrong. Tackle on Russo. Hayashi. Can't keep it in, and it'll be an Arsenal throw. Jonas Eidevall, as soon as this game has ended, and as soon as so many of his players depart on international duty, he'll have to start plotting the next match. A title 6-pointer against the champions Chelsea at the Emirates. And as things stand, Arsenal will go into that game 3 points behind the leaders and with a chance to pull level should they win it. Pelova to McCabe. McCabe tried to find the room to hit it. Sissoko got a foot in, but injured her foot in doing so, as McCabe just accidentally caught her. Studs into the roof of Sissoko's foot. Catley to Cooney cross. McCabe again. Asai tries to win it back but couldn't quite time it. That challenge, it's with Mornham. Mornham again, the opening goal scorer. Mornham again with space, and her shot is blocked by Sissoko, who's gone down holding her face. And Lisa Ben will have to check on a head injury here. Really smart defending from the West Ham skipper. Mornham turns so well and can be so dangerous from that sort of position. She shrugged off Shimizu, but Sissoko flung herself in front of the shot. This was the earlier one when McCabe caught Sissoko. Mornham gets there ahead of Stringer. And Harries can't keep it in. Mead. It's given away to Sissoko. But Ilestedt gets a foot on her attempted through ball. Ilestedt at the heart of defence with Wooben Moy this afternoon, flanked by McCabe on the right, Catley on the left. Pelova and Cooney cross ahead of them in the middle of the park. Mead, Mornham and Ford behind Russo. Zinsberger in goal, no changes at the break. West Ham with Megan Walsh on her WSL debut for the club. Smith at left back, who just took that throw in. Sissoko, Tiziak, Shimizu, the back three with Evans on the right-hand side. Harris, Stringer and Hayashi in the middle of the park. And Asai and the summer signing Rico Weki up top for West Ham. Likewise, no changes at the break for the visitors. Tiziak back to Walsh. Russo runs in on Walsh. Walsh keeps her cool and plays it back to Tiziak. Hayashi turns really well and feeds Harris, who wasn't able to keep it in. The ball went out of play and it'll be an Arsenal throw. Emma Harris with a decent effort in the first half onto the roof of the net when she tried to catch out Zinsberger from a narrow angle. Even tighter angle than the one with which Mornan gave Arsenal the lead. Cooney cross. Out to Catley. Catley takes on her fellow number 7. Evans does really well to bring it into the box. Walsh reacted well to smother it. Stringer. Shimizu. Asai slips. Well, a foul has been given against Ford. Perhaps a little fortunate there. It looks to me like Asai lost her footing. Lisa Ben, much closer than I am, says she was caught. And it's a free kick for West Ham. Opportunity for the Hammers. Smith. Smith pulls it across goal. And Wubin Moy flies in to get a vital interception on the edge of the 6-yard box. Real promising break for the visitors. They pick it up with Shimizu, who floats it to Weki on the edge of the box. Sissoko just gets there in time. Ahead of Mead. And it's with Smith again. To Hayashi. Smith to Hayashi once more. Hayashi is forced all the way back to Tiziak on the halfway line. The Belgian international knocks it out to the right-hand side. Evans to Stringer. Comes off of Evans. Hayashi picks it up for West Ham. Tiziak to Sissoko. Sissoko goes long, trying to pick out Asai, but it's onto the head instead of Catley. Catley clears. Decent spell this for West Ham, but they're unable to keep it in. Evans on that far side. Rhian Skinner in patches will be pleased with what she's seen from a team which doesn't look low on confidence despite their lowly league position. The good news for them is that Bristol City lost 2-0 at home to Manchester United earlier today. Bristol City right down there struggling with West Ham. Hayashi plays it forward to Harris, who does well to keep it alive and finds Asai, and in comes across from Evans, and Zinsberger catches it. Smith was claiming that she was behind her goal line. Obviously no goal line technology in the WSL, and I think it was an appeal born more out of hope than reality. She certainly looked comfortably in front of her line. Zinsberger, her left boot behind the line, but her right boot and her hands in front of the line. But a decent start to the second half for West Ham, albeit Arsenal playing with the experience, the nous of a team that has so many talents at its disposal and is not going to risk anything when it's already got a 3-0 lead against a team struggling at the wrong end of the division. Goal difference could be a factor though, come the title reckoning. So it could be an afternoon to go in search of a few more goals. Perhaps they'll do that towards the end of the second half with their visitors tiring. But at the moment, West Ham having the better of the ball. And Weki turns well and keeps it alive. Wubbenmoy and Weki tussling. Harris went to ground, made the most of a slight contact in the back there. Lisa Ben, the referee, unmoved. Smith. Harry's header momentarily kept it alive for West Ham, but Arsenal now look to break. It's gone under the boot of Russo though, and Tiziak picks it up. Plays it back to Shimizu, who goes all the way back to Walsh. Tiziak threads it through the middle, and now it's with Sissoko. Long ball over the top in search of Harris, but it's out of play, and Ilestedt can take the throw in. As we look back on that tumble to the turf from Harris, slight contact from Cooney Cross. I think it was optimistic that Lisa Ben was ever going to give a penalty for that. Smith collects it for West Ham. Ayashi through the middle trying to find Asai. And Evans gets there for West Ham ahead of Cooney Cross and wins the Hammers a throw in. Which she will take. To Asai, back to Evans, who wins West Ham a corner. Good little spell for the Hammers. Evans to take the corner against her former club. Corner given away, and Arsenal on the counter. Ford. McCabe on the overlap. Katie McCabe in space here, pulls it back to the edge of the 6-yard box. West Ham do well to scramble it away. Ford picks it up though and wins Arsenal a corner. Arsenal corner, almost an hour played, 3-0 to the good. Their title rivals Chelsea leading Leicester 3-2 at Kings Meadow. Corner hung up in the middle of the 6-yard box. West Ham clear only as far as Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross back to McCabe. Russo can't bring it under control. And Tiziak back to Sissoko. Russo charges through, it's clattered off of Alessia Russo's head as she closed down Megan Walsh. And the West Ham goalkeeper had to hurry the clearance. And smashed it straight into the face of, or maybe the shoulder of Alessia Russo. Oh, and Walsh almost caught out again. Well, she's got lucky there, twice in quick succession. The West Ham goalkeeper, Caitlin Ford, was sliding in on it. And Arsenal so close to going 4-0 up. It was a really careless back pass and Ford seized on it and got the touch in, and Walsh slid back in and the corner is conceded. Mead trots across to take it. Pelova hovering in space in the D, but Mead swings it in close to the West Ham goal. It's cleared by the Hammers. Harris with a bit of a careless clearance drops to Ford. Catley. Mead taking on Hayashi. Beth Mead wins another corner for Arsenal. Well, in fact, the goal kick is given. It must have come back onto Mead and behind. Well, a nervy few moments for West Ham, but they have survived. And there's going to be a substitution for the Hammers as Jess Zhu comes on for Emma Harries. Rhiann Skinner barks out a few more instruction. Emma Harries has had a decent afternoon for West Ham. A couple of lively spells from her. Ilishte gets there just before Ueki. Mead tries to knock it beyond Sissoko. Jonas Eidevall preparing a couple of substitutions. Chloe Lacasse among them. Double substitution here for Arsenal as Noel Moritz and Chloe Lacasse prepare to come on. Katie McCabe departs and Noel Moritz, the Switzerland defender, comes on in place of the Arsenal captain. And a standing ovation for Beth Mead, a double goal scorer this afternoon, as on comes Chloe Lacasse. So there won't be a hat-trick for Beth Mead this afternoon. Perhaps that would be a little greedy. 2 goals, the first of them of the highest quality. Beth Mead back on the score sheets after so long away. Chloe Lacasse with around half an hour of play. The Canada forward. Opportunity for her to make a mark this afternoon. Sissoko to Smith. Ueki in space inside the Arsenal area. Ruben Moy stands firm to block the low cross and knock it out of play for a West Ham corner. Smith with a deep cross, which Zinsberger times her jump well and clutches it out of the air and sets Arsenal on their way straight away. Mornham, cross takes the deflection into the hands of Walsh. The bad news for Arsenal is that Chelsea have gone 4-2 up at home to Leicester. For a moment at 3-2, you just wondered whether there might be a shock on the cards there at Kings Meadow. But Chelsea now have a bit of a cushion, 4-2 up. As things stand, they still have a 3-point lead on Arsenal at the top of the WSL table, and the teams meet next at the Emirates after the international break. Arsenal well on course for a win this afternoon. It will take a monumental effort for West Ham if they're going to get anything out of this. But they have played well in patches. They have had chances, and they're searching for another one here with Asai, who's come closer than anyone to getting a goal for them this afternoon, hitting the woodwork twice. Beautiful header just 4 minutes in onto the base of the post. And early in this second half, a shot which flicks up off Illerstedt's head and crashed against the uprights. Header from Wecky goes through to Zinsberger. Shimizu gets there for West Ham and knocks it back to Walsh. Lovely ball by Hayashi to Smith, who knocks it onto Asai. Delicious ball off the outside of her right boot. Asai to Smith. Smith into the Arsenal area. Still Kirsty Smith. Back to Hayashi, whose low shot is cleared away from the edge of the Arsenal 6-yard box. Russo picks it up. Wubben-Moy under pressure from Wecky, back to Zinsberger. She's had a busy afternoon, Wecky. She's put herself about, she's made her presence felt. Kirsty Smith did really well here and pulled it back towards Wecky, who tried to drill that low shot in at the far post through a crowded area. But Arsenal boots were there to clear the danger away. Pullover. Pullover again has it. Pullover does really well to pick out Meritz, who pulled it back in the direction of Lacasse. And Meritz with the block, the Arsenal substitute, to knock it out of play. Noel Meritz for a West Ham throw. And Smith can't keep it in. It will be an Arsenal throw, which Meritz will take. Pullover tries to play the 1-2 with Mornan, but the return was just ahead of her. Cooney cross back to Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy goes all the way back to Zinsberger. Illerstedt, the Sweden centre-back. Searching long ball forward to Ford. Ford looking to take on Evans. Cooney cross short to Pullover, back to Cooney cross. Arsenal have numbers forward here. Mornan to Ford, to Catley. Holding on to it expertly, but given away this time. And Wecky could only play it onto the referee, so that'll be a drop ball. Long ball arrowed towards Lacasse. Chloe Lacasse has it now. Back to Palova. Palova all the way back to Illistedt. Still Palova pulling the strings in the heart of midfield again for Arsenal this afternoon, and doing that ever so well. Maritz plays it off of Sissoko and wins Arsenal a corner. Just under 20 minutes plus added time to play. Sissoko, remember, on that yellow card for the foul on Mead towards the end of the first half, but she hasn't put her foot wrong since. The West Ham centre-back and standing captain this afternoon in the absence of the injured Mackenzie Arnold. Corner for Arsenal. Can they make it 4? Knocked towards the middle of the 6-yard back box and comfortably claimed by Walsh, who tries to set West Ham on their way straight away. And Gestu was unable to keep a firm footing, and Arsenal win it back. Tiziak does well to get the challenge in, though. Zhu keeps it in on that far side, but it's given away by West Ham to Cooney Cross. Maritz. Ruben Moy. Palova, Cooney Cross. Maritz. Lacasse inside to Cooney Cross. Well, Maritz and Lacasse have linked up well since coming on this right-hand flank for Arsenal. And Maritz has it again. Lacasse has got a little bit of space on the edge of that 6-yard box, but it's back to Cooney Cross, who arrows it towards the far post, and it's headed across goal and wide by Russo. Never quite got the necessary purchase on it to unduly trouble Walsh. Almost jumped a little too early, didn't time her jump quite right, and headed it down into the turf and well wide. So Palova, who's had another fine afternoon, disappears onto the subs bench, and Leah Valti comes on and takes the captain's armband. Another Swiss international, Leah Valti. Illistedt. Across to Ruben Moy. Chelsea still 4-2 up at home to Leicester. Arsenal 3 goals to the good here, so the gap at the top looks like staying at 3 points this afternoon. Chelsea with that 3-point cushion on Arsenal, heading into their meeting at the Emirates. Jonas Eidevall has seen his team put in a thoroughly professional performance this afternoon. They haven't yet added to their 3 first-half goals, but they did all the hard work early on. Miedema and Kim Little among the substitutes there. What quality on that Arsenal bench, not just on the pitch. Hayashi found her Japan teammate Ueki, and credit to West Ham because they've had their moments and they haven't yet capitulated at all. Obviously, it could get tough as limbs tire in the final minutes, and Arsenal, with the greater strength in depth throughout the squad, could yet take advantage of that. But they've kept the scoreline respectable. They've had their moments, and for a team struggling right at the foot of the table, Rhian Skinner, their manager, will find positives from this performance away to one of the very best teams in the country. Jonas Eidevall, plenty of positives for him in one of those games that, if you're a team with title aspirations, you simply have to win. This is a goal with which Frida Mornham gave Arsenal a second-minute lead. Beth Mead doubling that in the 18th minute. And just before half-time, Alessia Russo doing so well to set up Mead for her second of the afternoon. She has since been substituted, but she is well and truly back, having recovered from the ACL injury, which ruled her out for 11 months. Ending a week in which she's been recalled to the England squad under Sarina Wiegman with a brace of goals in a London derby. What an afternoon for Beth Mead. And Arsenal have held that 3-goal lead since the 41st minute. The closest either team has come to changing that very early in the second half, when Asai's shot flicks off of Ilestedt and onto the Arsenal post. Rhian Skinner would have known this was going to be a very difficult afternoon. And Jesu, the West Ham substitute, has received a bit of treatment and has to leave the pitch because of that. Hopefully she's going to be okay to continue. As Lisa Ben, the referee, prepares to get the game back underway. Izzy Atkinson on for West Ham, with Viviane Asai departing. Asai heading off. She may have picked up a bit of a knock. She's had a good week, a good afternoon really for West Ham. She's put herself about, won a lot of free kicks, hit the woodwork twice, one via a deflection. But she's had to make way, and the 22-year-old Ireland midfielder Izzy Atkinson on in her place. Russo turns. Shimizu can't keep up with her. Russo has Mornham lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box, but she goes backwards instead to Volti, who arrows it in and well wide of the far post. Worth a crack from Leah Volti, but never troubling Megan Walsh, that one. $3,682 fans in attendance for this London derby at Meadow Park. The majority of them, of course, supporting Arsenal and seeing their team on the way to a 6th straight WSL win. And for West Ham, a run of fixtures where they just can't seem to get a point on the board continues. As mentioned, though, they would have expected it would have been very hard to get anything this afternoon. And They next play at home to Everton after the international break. Everton have had a difficult start to the season too. That is an early season relegation six-pointer in some respects, if you can call it that this early on. Mind you, it will be in December as we head towards the halfway point of the season. The Cass gets there ahead of Sissoko, who recovers well and knocks it out of play for an Arsenal throw. And there's going to be another substitution, perhaps, in a few moments. Well, Viviana Miedemar and Kim Little as two experienced players. Alessia Russo will make way for Kim Little. Russo with the assist for Beth Mead's second goal of the afternoon. And Frida Marnon, who opened the scoring inside 2 minutes. As Kim Little now takes the armband. The club captain, Viviana Miedemar, is on for Frida Marnon, only her second substitute appearance in the WSL since her return. She's been included in the Netherlands squad for the upcoming games against England and Belgium. But their manager, Andreas Jonker, saying he made a 24th place available in the squad for her so that she could use the camp really as a part of her rehabilitation. She did come off the bench in the last international break in one of the two matches against Scotland. Frida Marnon, another fine afternoon in an Arsenal shirt for the Norway international. Quite some goal with which she gave her team a very early lead this afternoon. Her second WSL goal of the season, Frida Marnon. Cooney cross almost dispossessed inside the centre circle by Atkinson. Maritz. Well, it really would add to the fairy tale, wouldn't it, if Miedemar could get her first goal of her comeback, having seen Mead get two this afternoon. Cooney cross to Maritz. The Cass takes on Smith, does really well, Chloe Le Cass. But West Ham defends smartly. Well, Miedemar looks to win it back, but she's pushed an opponent in the back and gives away the free kick. Tiziak was knocked to the turf. The Belgian knocked down by the Dutch woman. Substitution for West Ham as Mel Phillips comes on for Hanoka Hayashi. Mel Phillips, a former Arsenal youngster, came through the youth team, played for the seniors, did Phillips. She's got 5 minutes or so against her former club as Hayashi makes way for her. Wecky wins it back really well for West Ham, does Wecky. Atkinson's in a bit of space. Wecky goes for goal and it's into the side netting. And it came off an Arsenal body, so it'll be a West Ham corner. Decent effort by Rico Wecky. did really well to win it back off Wooben Moy. Took the shot on and it glanced off an Arsenal boot, which had Zinsberger scurrying across and then into the side netting. West Ham corner. Is there a chance for a late consolation? It's almost scrambled home by Sissoko. And Zinsberger has dropped on the ball. Heroic goalkeeping by Zinsberger and defending from Catley. For a moment, it looked like Sissoko was going to find a way to force the ball home. And West Ham would probably have deserved that for their efforts this afternoon. But the Arsenal clean sheet for now is preserved. Evans with the corner, it was headed down, and well, Catley at one point had arms all over Sissoko. Zinsberger did well to keep an eye on it with so many legs in front of her. And she actually had to kick it clear at one point, you can see from that replay, and the ball came back in her direction and she dropped down on top of it. Lacasse on the charge, and Sissoko now busy at the other end of the pitch, and the flag's gone up anyway for offside. 3 minutes plus added time to play. Arsenal on course for the 3 points that's going to keep them within touching distance of the leaders Chelsea. 3 points behind them. Chelsea also leading this afternoon 4-2 against Leicester, as the Arsenal PA announcer confirms the player of the match this afternoon as Beth Mead, and that of course has gone down very well with the home crowd. 2 goals for Beth Mead this afternoon. Chloe Lacasse. Still Lacasse. Finds Ford, who did well to hold on to it. Still Caitlin Ford gets there into the edge of the 6-yard box where Miedemar heads it well wide of the target. Well, Ford did really well to pick out Miedemar with an arrowed low cross. And Miedemar heads it wide, well wide in fact. Difficult one to get to because she had to stoop. It was a really clever ball by Ford, but I don't think anyone, least of all Miedemar, was expecting it. The substitutes keeping warm, as is the professional thing to do nowadays, of course, very much. Evans, and it drops to Atkinson, who perhaps could have done better. Izzy Atkinson, well, Evans just steamed through the centre of the pitch against her former club, and Izzy Atkinson, the West Ham substitute, as it fell into her path, she drilled it hard and low with the first effort. Not a bad first effort. Zinsberger with the save, and she put the second one well over the bar, skied it. Izzy Atkinson. Decent first shot, not so good on the follow-up. But West Ham still trying to get a consolation goal in the late stages here. They can take a lot of heart despite the scoreline from their efforts this afternoon, particularly in the second half. They prevented Arsenal adding to that 3-0 half-time scoreline. And they've come close a couple of times themselves. Phyllis, who's just come on. Phyllis again. Tiziak. Shimizu. Thought about going long, went short instead. Tiziak back to Walsh. 4 minutes of added time to play. The 90 minutes is up. Arsenal 3-0 to the good. 3 points almost surely now in the bag. West Ham will be really keen. Tiziak's had a decent afternoon. Or certainly second half in that back line for West Ham. The Hammers will be desperate not to allow Arsenal to add to the scoreline. Perhaps they might get a chance to just nick a consolation goal themselves. Hayashi. Evans. Evans with the cross, but it's grasped comfortably by Zinsberger. Still Chelsea leading Leicester 4-2. They're going to keep their 3-point lead, Chelsea, but Arsenal have made sure they've not been able to extend it. And it is Arsenal against Chelsea next up after the international break. Arsenal now go in search of that fourth goal, though. Ford, in the end, is dispossessed. Weki is unable to win it back off Wooben Moy. Volti low. Smith tries to bring it away for West Ham, but she's given away a free kick for a foul on Lacasse. She voices her disapproval to referee Lisa Ben. Just over a minute and a half of added time to play. Free kick opportunity for Arsenal as they search a fourth goal. Catley and Cooney Cross, the Australia teammates, stand over the ball. Catley takes it towards the far post, headed away by Sissoko, but it drops to Miedema, who rather hurried her shot and failed to connect properly. Catley into the final of the 4 added minutes. Cooney Cross. Chelsea have gone 5-2 up on Leicester, so a 3-goal win looking likely for both the title chasers this afternoon. But can Arsenal find a late fourth here? Here's Miedema, and Sissoko wouldn't give her an inch, and Miedema couldn't keep it down. Cooney Cross with a lovely ball into the path of Miedema. His shot came off Sissoko and behind for what is almost certainly the last chance of the afternoon. An Arsenal corner with the 4 minutes of added time now up. Arsenal fans in really good voice this afternoon, delighted with what they've seen, certainly in the first half. The feel-good factor of a couple of Beth Mead goals as well. Late corner, is there going to be a fourth goal? Headed away by Sissoko. All the way back towards the halfway line. And Lisa Ben does blow the full-time whistle. A very professional afternoon work from Jonas Eidevall and his Gunners troops. They have prevented Chelsea from extending their lead at the top of the table. As Chelsea lead Leicester in the closing stages there, 5-2. The gap is going to remain 3 points at the top of the WSL. And after the international break, it is Arsenal in second place against Chelsea at Emirates Stadium, and if Arsenal win that, they'll be level on points with the champions, with the leaders. We can have a look at how Arsenal sealed this 3-0 win, this 6th WSL win in a row. The best moments of the game, just 2 minutes in, or less than 2 minutes on the clock, in fact, when this early corner Viacuni cross found itself at the feet of Mornham, and she managed to catch out Walsh by guiding it into that far top corner. Evans with the cross, which picks out Asai, so close to bringing West Ham level just 2 minutes later. Glancing header onto the foot of the post. Beth Mead with a lovely curling shot off her left boot for her first WSL goal in 428 days to send the Arsenal fans into raptures. Great to see her back, great to see her on the score sheet again. Sissoko booked for a foul on Mead when she rather caught the Arsenal striker on the side of the face. Russo, great work to set up Mead for the second 4 minutes before half-time. A brace for Beth Mead. She was later named player of the match. What a lovely run it was from Alessia Russo to set up her England teammate. Evans trying to catch out Zinsberger. There were appeals from Smith that she had crossed the goal line, or the ball had, but from the replay you can see that didn't happen. Sissoko almost scrambling one home in the second half from the Evans corner, but Zinsberger and Catley and Wubben-Moore between them kept it out. Atkinson with a shot straight at Zinsberger and then high over the bar on the rebound. But for Jonas Eidevall, and you can see Leah Williamson there in the shot too. They're yet to be able to welcome her back, of course. Beth Mead well and truly back in the centre of the picture. A brace for her, her first WSL goals for well over a year. And Arsenal head into the international break, having prevented Chelsea from growing the gap at the top of the table. Chelsea are still 3 points clear, but Arsenal will welcome them at Emirates Stadium on the 10th of December with a chance that afternoon in a mouth-watering London derby to go level with the champions. Thank you for joining us this afternoon at Meadow Park, where Jonas Eidevall's Arsenal have beaten West Ham United by 3 goals to 0.